Okay, so this is going to be my review of Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four. This was written by Christos Gage and artwork done by, I forget the artist's name, but he does really good artwork. Now, this was also the same creative team that did another comic book, Spider-Man-centric comic book that I really love called Spider-Man and X-Men. Spider-Man and the X-Men. Which, like that story, what Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four is that it's a series of stories set through Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four's timeline, throughout their respective continuities together. And these little short stories, these little one-shot, one-and-done lost stories, you could say, that have an interconnecting story in between them. With the Spider-Man X-Men one, it was more or less a story that involved Kraven the Hunter and Mr. Sinister. And in this one, it's a little different. It's not Doom behind this, although Doom's a big part of it. It's somebody else, someone who Jonathan Hickman used a lot in his Future Foundation run. But yeah, anyway, that's the big villain. But what this story is it pretty much follows that same format. However, it's a lot different in the sense that in this story, you see, Christos Gage, why aren't you writing Spider-Man more? I'm serious. You should just take over. I mean, no offense to Dan Slott, but I think Christos Gage should take over as the main Spider-Man writer. He's co-writing with Slott now, but I'm kind of wondering, is he going to take over? Because I would really like to see, him do amazing once Slott is done. Pick Gage. Well, he was co-writing during Superior, and he did that before, Superior happened. So he's co-written with Slott a lot. So I'm kind of hoping, Marvel will be like, hey, Gage, you're going to take over Spider-Man now. Because I would love nothing more than that. Because this guy has a perfect voice for Spider-Man and Peter Parker. It's a lot difficult than you think of they're the same character, but, there's a lot more to, Spider-Man and Peter Parker. But yeah, this is really good. This also, the other thing, like I said, this is a little more personal for Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four because they're close-knit. They're Spider-Man was close friends with the X-Men, but he's even closer with the Fantastic Four. They consider him part of their family. He's like even Peter in this comic says all he had was Uncle Ben and Aunt May, and his friends who loved him as well. But when he's with the Fantastic Four, they make him feel part of a family. He watches them all the time, and is just like, man, you guys can do so much together. And he honestly says, I feel blessed being around you, and I love that. I love how tight knit they are. And in each issue, you have Spider-Man kind of connecting with each member of the Fantastic Four and how he respects them. Like when he's talking to Johnny in the first issue, he at that point, because it's set in the 60s, I believe. I think 70s, early 70s. It's a story where Doom has been put in charge of a peace conference. Because at this time period, it'd still be the Cold War, and what's going on is that Doom's mitigating a peace conference, and he pretty much forces the Fantastic Four to be his personal security. What happens is, however, is that Namor has heard of this and challenges Namor to a fight out of honor for betraying him once, and this is right before Sue and Reed's marriage. So I think this would be the 60s now that I think about it. Anyway, that's a really good story because it shows Johnny and Peter at that point are still kind of they're still kind of at each other's throats. The other other thing that happens is that Doom actually switches bodies with Human Torch to fight Namor because he received an injury from the Thing in the main Fantastic Four continuity. So what happens is that this is hilarious because Spider-Man's freaking out like, oh my god, Doom took over Johnny's body, and Reed and the rest of the Fantastic Four are like, we know, this is normal, and he's like, I'm surprised everyone is taking this in stride. Like everyone is just cool with this. I love that. And then we have the next story, which is the next story involves the symbiote, because if you guys remember in the main continuity, Spider-Man, with the help of Reed Richards, got the symbiote off of his body and put it left it in the Baxter Building. He left it in the Baxter Building, and this one kind of focuses on Peter's respect for Reed. And, he kind of talks about how he can always have a family. While this is going on, the symbiote is trying to reach Franklin. It wants to get Franklin and unlock all of his potential. Because at this time, people didn't know how powerful Franklin Richards really was. And the symbiote wanted to unlock that. This also kind of has a little hidden history of why the symbiote is attracted to hate. I don't want to spoil how that happens, but it's actually it's simple, but it's awesome in the same time. So, yeah, anyway, and the third story moves on to the 90s, where we have, in the 90s story, this takes place right at the end of the new Fantastic Four story arc, where for those who don't know, that was a 3-part story where Spider-Man, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, and the Hulk, Joe Fixit Hulk, teamed up after they thought the Fantastic Four had died. You had the Mole Man, the Skrulls, and all kinds of crazy shit in there. Just wrapped up. It was just a fun story. I love that story. Anyway, in this story, this Skrull named Delilah, who was responsible for everything, is freed by the quote-unquote Doom from the future, and what happens is that the Fantastic Four are kind of... What this Skrull can do is that she's a psychic and she can hypnotize men. And the only ones that weren't affected were She-Thing, Ghost Rider, Spider-Man, who used his spider sense to look away from her, and Sue. And this kind of explains why why Peter has so much respect and love for Sue. And Sue tells him flat out, to them, even though I'm the most powerful member of the team, everyone thinks of me like the sister or the wife or the friend. You treat me like an actual woman. You treat me like, somebody else. And she respects Spider-Man for that. Final story, it has a lot of stuff between Spider-Man and Ben just palling around. Also, there's this great scene where I shit you not, the first page you see of the 4th issue is Ben Grimm in the tub singing Poker Face by Lady Gaga. I'm not joking. I saw that image, and that made me smile the rest of the story. This is just a great story, all in all. Christos Gage has a beautiful voice for both Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four, and he clearly shows why Spider-Man is such a big part of the Fantastic Four's lives. He clearly shows it, and he has a lot of love for it, and he shows why Spider-Man works so well alongside the Fantastic Four. So yeah, that's pretty much my review. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and yeah, I would highly recommend this. I got this at Free Comic Book Day for a discount price, along with the JLA Earth 2 book, which I did a review on previously a little while back. So yeah, anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.